And again, 5 melee, and I would have mentioned it, but OD dominates Ember in the laning phase. Great hero against Sven.
How important is Blink? Is there room for a Midas? What are the thoughts here? Mike in some trouble at top. Still pretty tanky, still has another decay, but getting blocked in a little bit. Lucian's here to help out though, and the Fisher block is gonna look like it'd be enough though. They get another toss back into tower range, 1 auto attack coming through, and that is going to be your first blood. I talked about it on the panel, and these tiny tosses, super useful.
A little bit behind, you know, we can see him building again into those power treads, so he's prioritizing a lot of this attack speed, wanting to get a lot of that in stolen quite early on. I don't think Blizzy's in too much.
No, he's actually just thumping his chest and saying, come at me. They're really, I don't know if they can do this. They are rotating Gunnar over now. Tombstone dropped behind the tower. It's a 4-man rotation and nothing coming in from NaVi to help out Blizzy. I don't know if there's any way out for him here. There's no point in the Searing Chains though. So can Blizzy actually just walk away?
It's a huge commitment, and they're not even going to get it. Do we think the game is going to go that late? I mean, we're seeing at this point that NaVi's definitely got the better of the first stanza.
Oh, all right, another block in. Blizzy once again the target. Gunnar tanking the tower a little bit, half HP. Help is coming though. Choose on his way, throws out the avalanche. Is that going to open up enough space? Nope, one more sleight of fist from Gunnar. They do finally get that kill, but they have spent so much time in this top lane.
OD is level 8 versus a level 6 on the Ember Spirit, so that's going to really come into the equation.
Team once again just running their heroes over towards top lane, but NaVi are responding. They've got the Doom thrown out onto Envy. He used the ultimate a little bit earlier. Avalanche only just catching onto him, but they should have the damage here. Don't know if there's going to be an opportunity for a deny. No one on Team can get anywhere close. 5 melee lineup. They even threw out a potential TP there, but looks like it got canceled.
In terms of experience, he's still doing all right. He's level 6, nearly level 7. He's actually got a rotation going through with Nusham now.
They know that they can't kill the Jug, right? So they're just immediately swapping him over. They want to use the Primal Split at mid.
Nice positioning from Misha.
Yeah, he's actually scouting this out a little bit. They do jump in. Fisher coming through. Chain stun onto the OD. They don't quite have level 6 on the Oracle, and he gets sent up into the air. The OD down. They do take quite a lot of damage for this, but they look to continue going on. Oracle focus next, stunned up, will be right-click down, and team, a much more successful rotation than that attempt that they made over a top. Gunnar kind of low on mana, does of course have his TP scroll off cooldown, so could head back, refill the bottle. They are looking on NaVi to actually head down towards bottom. They've got the Doom available, and Brax still hanging out here under the tower, gets doomed up. Misha also looking to lock him down.
I think they follow up. I don't think they do.
Yeah, do they have enough damage? He's already halfway through the duration. Blizzy's now on top of him, but only 1 point in the Infernal Blade. So Brax looking like he might actually be just fine. Keeps on running it off. They would like to force out the Primal Split if possible. He uses the Drunken Brawler, but it immediately gets removed. And so he is on the run, toss forward, but it's just the Mud Golem, and Nusham makes the long run over as Brax tries to find a place in the trees to TP out. They'll have some vision on him. This is a lot of time wasted, but he will finally be brought down.
I think he could have got away if he just kept running, maybe.
Even going the 250 HP talent. I think to me that says a lot about what Magical is looking at this game. He's like, all I need to do is press my ulti.
Yeah.
I can't let them kill me before that happens.
Well, he's already got the Mystic Staff built
Rotation
up.
at mid. Nice. Fisher does block off Blizzy. Brax immediately popping the ultimate. They might just be able to kite this away, though. The Tombstone also down, and they're just running for it on NaVi. They will be able to send the Doom up into the air, but the Juggernaut's now here on the front lines. Envy pops his ulti. He does hit the Echo Saber. He's going to do decent damage. Crystallize trying to kite backwards. They do have the defensive imprisonment to keep him alive. Blizzy also in an awkward situation, but once again, this Ice Armor is doing so much work for him. And now the turnaround comes. They toss in the Juggernaut. He gets the Omni Slash off. Brax is dead, and team just getting run over. Blizzy easily able to deal with the Tombstone. They don't quite get the gold.
And I think the Abaddon, the Oracle, the Doom, the Juggernaut, that's why they've really come into power here.
They have so much to save, so many ways to play defensively, and they're just chopping this tower. Team gonna try and make something happen, but they can't initiate on the Doom. They can't really initiate on the Jug. They do get the toss back onto Eternal Envy. He's doomed, and Hex and his Eclipse pops him. No buyback available either. Gunner's in the back lines trying to do a little bit of damage to Blizzy, but he just retreats back to the healing ward. Looks like he's gonna be okay. The Tombstone is a bit of an obstacle, still has a decent duration left. They send the OD up into the air. This might finally be their opportunity, but Crystallize gonna come spinning forward. They've got the Oracle ultimate to save the Doom. IX Mike just getting chunked by the orb attacks from the OD. Another Hex coming in onto the Ember. Gunner's going to be okay, but Team just really not killing anyone, and the Tombstone's just about to run out. Magical being kept alive. Crystallized still has the Omni Slash going in. It redirects over onto Nushim and kills the Earthshaker instantly. No Echo Slam opportunity. He does have a buyback that he could use, but I don't know if it's going to be worth it. He's trying to buy back and come in. The Hex is available, though. Magical locks him down. Earthshaker's still running in, tossed up. Can he finally use the Echo on this OD? Looks like he will be able to. They don't even need it to secure that kill. Decent buyback, but still a big fight for. Well, they lose two big cores on NaVi, so.
They're just making these little cautious forays forward, but it might cost them if they're not able to fully commit onto something.
They need to get a good ward down as
Yeah.
well. Mike's got one Observer ward at the moment. They're running forward pretty blindly. Blizzy's already got a Shadow Blade. He breaks the smoke. He's going to immediately doom up Brax. This is a bit of a split fight for Team. Can they actually come in here and help out? They drop out the Fisher. Nushim sizing it up. So is Gunner. He's coming across, but Mike puts the Tombstone onto the high ground. He's going to get focused down. And the team looks like they just don't really have anything that they can do here. Gunner's trying to pressure onto Chu, but Misha's just down on the low ground. We'll be able to keep him nice and safe and just come and clean up the Tomb problem.
He's picked up the BKB now, right? So, but the Doom has actually been focusing him twice, 2 or 3 times. So even if you've got that BKB, if you don't pop it off, it's
another smoke from Team. They come forward, but once again, smoke gets broken by the Shadow Blade. They're coming around the corner. They look towards Crystallize. They do get the stun off onto him, but a good positioning from the Oracle. Ultimate immediately comes out. Earthshaker getting locked down by the Avalanche. Doom's in here. Sandy's Eclipse gets dropped. Still decent for Envy. He's nice and healthy. They do come in with the auto attacks, and Crystallize is dead. It's too much damage. Team running through. They've also got the zombies onto Misha. He's in big trouble. He's gonna fall, and they're chasing even a little bit further forward. They look towards the OD. Can they actually bring him down? It's completely surrounding him. Let's go for the imprisonment. TP now coming in from Chu. Can he put his life on the line to keep the OD alive? Magical trying with the auto attacks. Buyback coming in. Have they overextended a little bit on Team? He's under the tier 3. He's got so much armor. Blizzy TP's through. Team, can they just disengage? That's all they want to do at this point. The dust coming in. They're looking for the turnaround. Fake back on the high ground. Magical trying with the auto attacks. What can they do? Blizzy in danger. 5 seconds to go on the Doom. They've only got 9 seconds to go until the respawn on the Jug. He did have a buyback, but he chose not to use it. And now OD finally gets worked down. Team, they are so low. But what a fantastic fight from them.
I mean, I think it does need to go towards that later stage of the game. You need to get a lot of these heroes, their level 15, their level 20 talents, just so they're able to have that additional level of impact. As we mentioned before, the 2x Sanity's Eclipse is just going to be absolutely massive against this team lineup. He's got 4.6k saved up, not willing to buy anything just yet.
But if you're using the God Strength, that's not exactly a siege.
Yeah.
Right?
A little bit extra damage.
I think that's the thing. Oh, Misha caught in the river. All right, just going to go for him. This should be a super quick pickoff. Gunner pops the BKB for this, thinking that there might be some heroes lurking around the corner looking for him, but instead, just going to be the Oracle picked off. The battle for the 30-minute bounty rune.
Doing it. Speaking of that God Strength, just popped right now to assist with...
All right, we got ultimates getting popped in every direction. BKB on one side, Doom onto the Earthshaker. Sven just running away with his BKB. The Omni Slash still available. They're finally going to bring down Nushim. Now Omni Slash onto Envy. Does pop out the Warcry. He's going to be okay. The Tombstone also dropped. Hex onto Brax. Should be fine to get the ultimate out if he wants to. And actually, the Juggernaut just in such an awkward position. Omni Slash doing nothing, and then he immediately gets focused down as he pops back out of it. This is probably also a move to get some wards down. Let's see what is actually going to end up happening. Team are moving heroes over into position. Nushim's got himself a Shadow Blade, and I don't know if NaVi have all that much detection. They're hiding Magical up. Chu does come forward.
Yeah, team know exactly where they are. They've got some great vision.
Oh, they
the second smoke.
They pop the smoke, but there's a Fisher coming through. The wraparound is here. Envy jumps in aggressively, but the spin from Crystallize going to keep him alive. He's retreating backwards. Blizzy trying to find his target. They are jumping in a little bit further. Crystallize pops his BKB. The Doom now coming in onto the Sven. They're just trying to kite him around a little bit as now Magical will commit to the fight with this BKB with the Equilibrium. He's just focusing on Mike so far, though. Sandy's Eclipse comes through. They do bring down the Undying. It's a 1-for-1 so far. They get the Fisher stun onto the OD, force staffing him a little bit further away. Nice imprisonment, gonna help keep him alive, but these zombies are so much of a problem. And now the Earthshaker comes forward, they drop the Echo Slam, and Magical is gone. NaVi trying to keep their cores alive, but it's just not working. Misha also getting caught out. On the other side of the fight, we also have Envy running a little bit too far away from his team, and it is going to be Jug and Blizzy turning back around and killing off the Sven. To me, that NaVi play is just, he's looking at it as, we've won this fight at this point. The OD's dead, most of us are still alive. So what can possibly go wrong? Well, there you go. Blizzy in some trouble, is going to get silenced up. Nice Fisher as well, keeping the Juggernaut a little bit further away. He finally pops the BKB, looking to run out of this. As NaVi going to keep on chasing, he doesn't use the ultimate for this one. Blizzy would have to juke for dear life, but I don't think there's any way out for him here. Brax still right on top of him. And they actually lock him down. They don't get the Fisher landing, but Gunnar finally comes in from the other side, and that will be one more kill for Team. And 100 seconds dead on the Doom, with a Roshan already up, ready to be taken.
10 minutes into the game, not at 35 minutes into the game.
So what's going wrong for NaVi in this? Are we not at that late game point? Are they just getting outplayed?
Yep.
He's got the Vlads buffing him up, got that DD, and Team looking to take their first lane of Rax potentially here. Magical also running towards bottom. We do have a little bit of a trade happening as Crystallize is also taking a tier 3 over on the bottom side of the map, but much faster for Team, and looks like they're happy to stick around. They do drop the Hex over onto Brax. Don't think they can really burst him down though, and he turns around now with the BKB. Sanity's Eclipse doing absolutely nothing. We thought this was going to be the I win button for NaVi, but it's just not the case.
Doom's back up.
They're still fine. Needs to be a little bit careful. This Remnant is taking a while to go back out, and Chu going to be looking for the toss back, but Gunnar with another Remnant jump will be just fine. It feels like, even though we felt he did well in the lane, and then there was that misstep by going top. But you compare the impact that the two mid laners have had this game, and it feels like it's just kind of night and day between Gunnar and Magical. Blizzy coming out of the base at bottom. He's tanky, but not that tanky. Making very quick work of him with the Bloodthorn, and that extra soul burn damage is going to finish him off. And that's no Doom for 70 seconds. Gunnar just goes straight into the base, pops the chains onto the Jug. He's got his BKB pop now as well. Just wants to try and focus down Misha, who's retreating back towards the fountain. Gunnar, maybe not the best BKB usage for him. Hex does come in onto NaVi. Didn't use the BKB just yet, but he does still have the Aegis. Though with the God Strength already used, see how useful this BKB is going to end up being. But Team just pushed them all back into the fountain. Brax is already scouting with the Cyclone. Just going to keep Magical back here as Team go for the throat, go for the racks. Mike also running in, just playing that Space Creator. They do get the stun onto the Jug. Echo Slam now coming through. Crystallize in big trouble. He pops the BKB. He also gets saved by the Oracle, but I don't know if it's really going to do all that much. Gunnar, once again, keeping them here. I don't know if Team should be diving the fountain. Could maybe just finish off the lane of Rax in this situation. And NaVi does finally go back. Hits the buildings.
Yeah, they've got that restraint. They don't want to overcommit too much. Another 15 seconds until that Doom is up. I think they'll take this and rotate out. They've got a bit of that themselves. You know, you've obviously got the Undying, who's hard to kill himself. Now the Aegis wears off, so he's got the Butterfly now able to put into his inventory, but might do a rotation quite soon. Smoking up in that mid lane.
Oh, they've got another double damage bottle. The way that they've played around these runes for Gunnar has been so good this game. Magical pops the BKB, but NaVi is just giving it to him. So many auto attacks. He's gone. 85 seconds dead. Nushim finds more up on the high ground. Blizzy in an awkward situation as Gunnar just kills Misha instantly. Jug trying to go toe-to-toe with NaVi, but he's got this Butterfly. This Omni Slash is not doing nearly enough damage. Crystallize comes back out, and they've lost 3. Trying to spin TP his way back, and I think he might just make it. Okay, but still, GG is called. Team. We didn't think they had it for the late game, but a couple of very well executed fights, some good holds, especially around that tier 2 at mid, and they're going to be taking game number 1 here.
You need the ability.
It was limited selections for NaVi and what they've played and what they can play around. On that last pick and in comparison to what they've got to go up against.
To contest the runes instead of heading straight back to base. He will find himself this Arcane rune. Forced to pick it up, unfortunately, by Nushim. And Misha is actually blocked away from the high ground here. He's running up the river. Magical going to try and help him out, but this could just end up being a kill for Team. Channels up on himself. Still only level 1 on this Oracle. 10 HP, and with no boots, Nushim easily able to run him down, and that is first blood for an Earthshaker. What a start.
You know, do you think he'll build into the Tranquils again with the Soul Ring, or maybe go into more of an Arcane Boots build, just because all of his team doesn't have really super high mana pools, so it's going to be really effective.
Getting spun on. Crystallize looking for this kill, and that will be nice and easy. Level 5 Juggernaut. The Jug has been getting all of the experience from bottom. It will be pretty difficult to bring down Magical. Has opted for 2 bracers on the Kunkka, so yeah, very tanky. Do you think he gives any consideration to the Radiance build on the Kunkka this game?
Kunkka, the one that was popularized by that Reddit thread.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Brax is dead, but they're also making an attempt on Blizzy over at top. This is a big 4-man rotation game. Torrent actually going to end up catching on 4 heroes as we have a little bit of lag. NaVi immediately swaps to bottom, dominates up the Alpha Wolf, and will also be looking to take a tier 1 tower. So looks like just maybe a tier 1 for tier 1 trade, though Gunnar is trying to hold on to this top tier 1 for that little bit longer. Doom does have the Doom available, so Gunnar can't get too close to him. And now the Doom comes in, Spin not doing full damage necessarily, but it looks like Gunnar just going to be easily brought down, though they do have the heal coming in, but it's not enough. They bring him down. 2 supports on team, along with Brax just around the corner, looking to keep this fight going, but what can they actually do? Omnislash is available. Do get the stun over onto the Jug. He's going to spin. Does not have a TP scroll available, though.
Brax doesn't have enough mana. Oh, he just came out.
Just enough. Can they actually get this kill? They got to deal with the healing ward quickly. Crystallize has gained a lot of HP. He's also got the ice armor up on him. He's pretty tanky. Misha's coming over to try and help, but there's no ultimate available for this Oracle. Omnislash getting thrown just to try and survive a little bit longer. Crystallize actually manages to bounce on over to the range creep, and looks like that's going to get him out of this situation.
Now, they don't have that Observer Ward vision around the shrine anymore. I believe it was dewarded, and so NaVi's actually being forced to be in that jungle. I think what they wanted to do at the time was obviously commit those 4 heroes to the top lane, try and pressure out the rotation.
Rotation in on mid. Gunnar looking for this kill, but needs to be careful. Torrent's coming through. They don't have the boat available. The Gunnar looks like he should be just fine. Rooted for a second. Actually jumping away now, but Magical's actually waiting for him, so Gunnar gets brought down. They do lose Misha in the backlines, but that is a great trade for NaVi. Absolutely. They're even looking for a little bit more. Going to drop the boat onto Mike. He gets the tombstone down in the river. Going to be difficult to deal with. And seeing that, NaVi will just back themselves up. Is there an alternative build at the moment that you think is also good? Like, we used to see Mask of Madness Deso and Armlet and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe the Deso, but it really depends on what your actual lineup is.
Silence. Get the lockdown, throw out the Doom. Mike might be able to get the deny here potentially. They got the X back and no chance. NaVi not going to waste any time. Just secure that kill. Gunnar had a fantastic game last time, and this time around they are showing him no mercy.
I mean, I think the Deso and the Armlet build is kind of viable, more so just the Deso on its own, but you really need the team around it. And I think with the way that the team have drafted, they definitely want to have this.
Forward, NaVi's up here on the high ground. He's popped everything. Going to look for that stomp with the Centaur. Micro's not the best. NaVi gets locked down, and he is just going to be killed off instantly. NaVi arrive, and they arrive in force. The Tombstone is helping out a little bit, but IX Mike only level 5. Just try to buy a little bit of time as Gunnar comes over, gets into position. Nusham with the Echo Slam catches 3. Oh my word, NaVi were 2 grouped up. Crystallize does have the shrine here. He's going for this Centaur, but NaVi's actually just kind of baiting him a little bit. And once again, Crystallize no TP. Team completely surrounding him. And this is going to be yet another kill for them, it looks like. He's got the spin back off cooldown soon. He's pretty fast, but Nusham's got the blink. And that is a mega kill streak for this Earthshaker 15 minutes into the game. They're hoping to pick off the Lycan who's split pushing while still kind of keeping numbers at bottom. Yeah. NaVi, so long as he sees heroes at bot, he's going to stick on this wave, and that's what they're hoping for. They roll in, they get the Doom out, and this is going to be a quick Eternal NaVi kill, and a lot of his summons cleaned up. And Magical getting involved with the tips, keeping the morale up.
Nicely
Throw
done.
it back on EE.
I think that's really well done by NaVi. I'm sure that they had an exact timing of when that Echo Slam was coming back up, because it just came up just there.
Well, Magical a little bit caught out. Will he be able to get the Ghost Ship out? Does do so. They've also got the False Promise, keeping him alive a little bit longer. The Primal Split getting popped as Brax chases forward, looking to keep this Kunkka in position, but he's already been healed back to full. This might be a bit dangerous to commit onto. Nusham with the Echo Slam, looking for something. They do actually just chase down Misha on the other side of the fight, as now they do have the healing ward inside of the trees. And NaVi just going to stand their ground with the Kunkka and the Jug. They're running forward. They do have a level 2 Omnislash that they're keen to use. They drop it out, but it bounces immediately onto the neutral creeps, hardly doing any damage at all as Crystallized, and they just keep on running at this Kunkka, focusing him down. The Echo Slam, it's not even all that flashy, but it's exactly what they need. Picks up the 2 big core kills. Gunnar gets a triple. They gave him the Earthshaker again.
Again, like, why would you do it? It's like giving Earthshaker to, I don't know, Jerax at TI, giving it to FY at TI. It's very much the same. Maybe not quite at the same level, but he's certainly making a case for himself.
Okay, Nusham getting caught out a little bit. Can they keep him alive? Still 2 cores dead. This is a dangerous fight for NaVi to be taking, and they do come running out with the Lycan chomping onto Chu. He goes down. Blizzy also trying to get involved, making some space. Feeling kind of tanky. He does know that his cores are respawning and TPing in soon. Team will be forced away from the Roshan pip.
It's a
some edgy, but yes.
It is.
Not nearly as good as a Battlefield.
It helps you win team fights, and then they just went and didn't pressure their advantage that they had with the early Hex and the
100%.
Defusal.
And do you think that there's a... Would the Battle Fury have been too greedy this game? Oh, IX Mike in a little bit of trouble. All right, does get dragged back into the Torrent. They go and snag the bounty quickly, and now Nushim coming in, gets the chain lockdown onto the Doom and the Kunkka, but not enough help here. They are running Gunnar down the river. He's going to find himself a double damage. They get the Doom over onto the Brewmaster, but do they actually have the damage to bring down Brax? He's somewhat low. Torrent catches nicely, and now Crystallize is coming over. He drops the Omni Slash straight onto the Earthshaker. Nothing that Nushim can do. He was waiting in the tree line for his opportunity, but Crystallize finds himself a super quick double, and Team kind of baiting themselves a little bit there.
I think Mike's positioning himself really well. Like, they don't have the greatest of vision right now on Team. Sure, they've got that tri-camp area kind of scouted out, but they've got another, how long? 10 seconds, so probably not anymore, but they had good vision around it, both from the bot lane as well as that top tri-camp, and even behind them, so there was no way they were going to get flanked by anyone.
They want this Ember, but there's no initiation item on the Doom, so they just have to walk around the corner and get it. He's got just long enough range to secure
Age is gone.
And yeah, it just also just fading. So
Yep.
Very nicely timed by NaVi. That is exactly the pickoff that they needed. Still going to be on cooldown for a little bit, so this is as good a time as any to go. NaVi are hunkering down on their high ground. They've got decent vision around here. They've also got some sentries down. Magical in a position to break any potential smoke. He does have a BKB available, so difficult to go onto him. He's baiting it a little bit. They do look to turn this around. They're going onto the Lycan first. Can they burst NaVi? He's already down on half HP. He's still ultied. Gonna run away, running actually towards Misha. No casualties just yet in this fight as the Primal Split also comes out. Oracle forced to ulti himself, as now they look back towards Magical, who doesn't have his BKB anymore. That's going to be the first casualty of this fight, it looks like. Earth Spirit also being focused. This Tombstone on the high ground is doing so much work, and Gunnar just going to keep on charging forward. They get the lockdown onto the Crystallized Jug. He's going to end up dying. Blizzy is next. Gunnar's still jumping everywhere with his Remnants, and Team taking a 4-0 team fight.
But there comes a point where they were just losing. They were slowly losing the team fight due to the early lead that they had, the lack of vision that they had, where Earth Spirit actually had to commit into the middle of that fight. This feels like he's lacking a bit of damage here on Crystallize. You know, you've got the BKBs on the other cores, which want them to do it.
NaVi in some trouble, stumped up. I don't even know if they're going to be forced to use the Doom. He's trying to get over to the Shrine. Brax doing his best with the Cinder Brew, but that is a quick pickoff. And they managed to hold the Doom the entire time as well. The other interesting thing to talk about here for me is that the Oracle is a really nice laning counter to the Brewmaster. Not really a great counter in the overall game, because you're just going to get Cyclone non-stop. Like, this is actually a very, very difficult Oracle game.
Yeah.
He's just going to get run at. He's going to get separated from his team. The False Promise range is lower. Gunner's jumping in here. Does get the chains over onto the Doom. They're looking to lock him down first. Healing Ward also in position. Gunner going to pop his BKB and just run forward. Feeling safe with the Lincoln Sphere. Blizzy, is he going to go for the Doom? He does throw it out, but it's just onto the Brewmaster, and he's still pretty tanky. Misha's already dead. He's going to buy back into the game. Envy losing some life, but able to kite backwards with the BKB. They will end up losing Mike, but he's got the Tombstone up on the high ground, and Gunner's still just throwing out the Sleight of Fist time and time again. On the other side of the fight, Chu is going 1v1 up against Envy, but it'll just be the two team supports traded away. What else can they get? Envy, is he actually going to end up dying to Chu here?
Magnetize?
There's quite a lot of... the Magnetize still doing decent damage, but he's got so much regen from Feral Impulse and everything else.
Very close, though.
They're making very quick work of this. NaVi are pinging it, but they're not coming over fast enough. It looks like to really contest it. Nushim's looking for his opportunity. He doesn't have the Echo Slam available for another 30 seconds. Torrent Boat now coming in. They do have the Aegis already picked up for Gunnar, and might be able to go chasing now, though. They've already committed the Tombstone, getting caught by the Hex. Sure, they do have the Oracle to be able to help out, which is certainly good, but if they manage to Cyclone him and then get a Hex on the Kunkka or the Doom before they get their BKB off, they could just die. Pretty much right away. Magical, I mean, they're looking at him here. They're going to pop the double damage and the BKB on Gunnar, but he's unable to block the roll. Instead, he just continues forward onto Magical, who does finally get the boat out, but still losing quite a lot of life. Misha's waiting here. Crystallize puts down the Healing Ward. They're just trying to get this Kunkka back into the base, and looks like he is going to be okay. Turns around for one little hit on the zombie, but doesn't cleave down any of this stuff. The backdoor protection is actually still up, and NaVi runs up onto the high ground. Mike is making space, but this is an awkward place for Team Team to fight. And now the Omni Slash, along with the Doom, they bring down the Lycan, they bring down the Ember for the first time, and Team Team looks like they may have just overstepped this a little bit. Great stun coordination as they get the roll into the Torrent. Gunnar trying to escape. Can they actually stay on top of him? He's only got one remnant left.
Being pretty slippery.
Yep, still turning around, throwing out another slight. I do have Chu looking for him. Silence coming back off cooldown soon. Instead, he opts for the roll. He doesn't have any rocks left, unfortunately.
Yep.
Too many fights in the last couple of minutes. So.
Stick around, get the bounty rune.
Oh, they're still looking for him, though. Gunnar, all right. One remnant left. Sends the remnant right. Gonna head out. The Inferno Blade ticking him down little by little. Just trying to drag them away before he jumps back to his team. The Earth Spirit is actually waiting. Brack scouts it out, and instead they jump back, look towards Chu, crit him down quickly. Gunnar still making some very nice little plays. Getting ticked down by the Spirit Vessel, but they do have a shrine ready to go for him. Nushim is trapped in the river, getting chased down, and needs to time this blink perfectly. All right, he's good. Very nice. In between the Radiance ticks, managed to get out of there. It's a very slow ticking item, and now they got the Fissure coming down. Team Team looking to fight. They do have the Lycan back up soon. Gunnar, low HP, not really committing. Mike just dies to the cleave along with crystallized auto attack damage. And NaVi fighting together pretty nicely. Brax forced Steph up onto the high ground. More good team play, but yeah, though this is Team Team's lineup shifting gears into a split pushing lineup, right? It was a 5-man lineup to begin with, and now they're out of necessity. Well, Mike in a little bit of danger. Blizzy just charging forward. They're able to kite away. Envy's up to his old tricks again, trying to get some damage onto this tier 3 tower, but unless he finishes it, I don't know what he can really do here. All right, Omni Slash bouncing through onto him. Envy taking so much damage. He drags the Centaur cost, also got the creep. Now they're forcing the fight at bottom. Blizzy just going to BKB TP out. Misha trying to pop the ultimate and TP himself out of there, but he is looking very dead.
He's got buyback, but again, you've used your ult. Like,
what's a worth? Yeah. Envy immediately heads into the Roshan pit. This is Aegis Cheese and Refresher Shard up for grabs. Definitely something that they cannot afford to give away to NaVi.
Absolutely not. And even an Arcane Rune as well. So it's like Gunnar might be bottled up.
NaVi are making their bid right here, right now. Mike does once again scout things out. He's going to be brought down. I don't believe he has buyback available. 50 seconds dead, and they force them away from the pit. Crystallize is heading straight in there. He's got a 10-second BKB ready to rock and roll. Gunnar going in with the constant side of fist spam, but the healing ward is keeping everybody in tip-top shape. We keep on fighting, and Crystallize just goes straight in. Envy, what's the play going to be? Do they take this team fight, or does he try and head bottom and rat a little bit more? Gunnar actually getting locked down. They get the Doom over onto him, force staffing him a little bit further away, but he's dead. And he's dead with no buyback available. That is 100 seconds. Envy does head bottom. What's he going to go for? Looks like it might just be the tier 3 tower at mid. Aegis and Cheese about to be claimed. Mass TP coming in from NaVi, as they will force them back, and now maybe try and force the fight over at the pit, but the two supports just escorting the Jug nice and safe away from it. Well, just so tanky now. 3,200 HP on this Kanka, 2,200 on the Jug. Andy's got Aegis, so 2 lives to get through, and NaVi are just chopping through the lane of Rex. Melee Rex gone at mid, full lane. No signs of slowing down. They are sending Envy into position over at bottom. If there was ever an eternal Envy way to win a game, it would be a base race, but NaVi, I don't think there's any reason to risk. Just loops right back to bottom lane to keep disabling that.
I would be pulling my hair out at this, like if I was playing against this. Like, what do we have to do?
Oh, they're jumping in. Looking towards this Doom. Big crits from the Brewmaster. Brax doing the damage. Brings him down now. A bash out of the Jug. Crystallize, where is your HP going? This is a DD Brax Brewmaster. Envy thinking about running over to the fight. I think they've just got backdoor protection disabled in a second. And actually, they're doing a pretty good job of getting these lanes. NaVi seem a little bit on edge.
Yeah, they're flustered,
to be honest.
Very, very close to that level 25 on the Lycan as well, so he could get the 3 additional wolves if he wants to. All right, they're distracting him and he's in top.
Yep, Brax is just keeping the Jug locked down on the other side. They are going to drop the Echo Slam onto him as well. Crystallize, that's first life gone. Aegis dead. And now Envy over on the top side looking to finish off the melee racks. Gunner's keeping the Oracle away. Another Echo Slam onto this Juggernaut. Crystallize doesn't get to do anything. He's forced into the buyback. Melee Barracks still has a little bit of life left. Gunner goes running outside of the base. Still has the BKB. Chu, I don't know what that TP was about, but
he'll be fine.
All right, it gets canceled by Gunner.
He has gone into the 3 wolf summons, so can continue to use those to constantly pressure this top lane. I'm sure that NaVi will realize he wants to do it.
This is getting so tense. No Jug buyback, no NaVi buyback, but they get the roll forward onto NaVi. This is trouble. They've also got the Doom. Can they save him? Eternal NaVi caught out at his split pushing antics, and he dies with no buyback available. 2 minutes dead. What can Team do to make the space now? They're going onto the Kunkka. Brax looking for the bashes, is going to be forced into the primal split, but needs to be careful. They don't have the bonus HP on these pandas, and Magical's just chopping him. Oh, Brax also dead for 100. He does have the buyback available.
Oh, he's actually gone into the damage as well in the brew, so
Yeah.
even if he bought back, he doesn't have that primal split to use.
It's more about the right clicks than it is about the ultimate at this point, and NaVi are just marching down mid. Gunner, can he actually interrupt this push? He's trying to cut the wave. Linken's has been popped. He needs to be so careful. He's got the remnant away, but he's been stunned up. Gunner, will he be able to escape? BKB pop, but he's getting bashed. Now doomed, now dead. 100 seconds. All 3 cores on Team are out of the picture. We do have Nushim actually cutting the wave at mid.
Doing a great job.
Making the plays. That's the only wave that they were actually pushing.
Top lane definitely could have gone down. They could have even thrown if they had that backdoor removed.
NaVi, they want to force these buybacks so badly, but they have to be so careful. They haven't taken the shrines yet, either. As much as this looks good for NaVi, this is also balanced on knife edge. Crystallize could die, and that could just be the entire game. The positioning on Misha is going to be so important. And all right, they look for a second lane of Rax, but it just doesn't really matter. They can't get Megas. Still a tier 2 at bottom. And Team just hoping to wait out these respawns. Team are just poking and prodding and looking to trip up NaVi. For a team who is missing their captain.
Nushim.
Oh, Nushim jumps in at the bottom side. They do also have the damage from Brax. Too many crits.
Buyback.
He's dead. He's got the buyback. It's dead.
Okay. Pushing that mid lane.
All right, Gunner is hitting the tier 3 now. This melee barracks is extremely low. Gunner gets his Linken's popped. Okay.
Army of Wolves heading top.
Yep, they get the silence. Wolves heading over. Gunner pops his BKB. Will look to jump back. Brax takes a big hit from Magical, but he gets a bash onto him. They will try and save the Kunkka here, and they will now get the Doom out. Gunner looking very dead as NaVi chasing through. Brax, Earth Panda about to die, but he's also got the Fire Panda running away.
Oh, they're not killing
it down. Oh, they're going to let him jump back to it. Trying to kill him off. Brax, can he get out of here? Nushim, nice Fisher. Envy's nowhere to be found. Torrent not timed correctly. Brax gets the blink away, but it's straight into Chu. He's actually got the crits! Chu is gone, and Nushim refreshing immediately to keep his heroes alive. Super bad combo from Magical here as Brax just gets the straight up TP, but he has been X'd. Will he be able to escape? He does not. And NaVi, all right, they get 3. They lose 1. They bop back on Blizzy.
Just to have the space, God, this is going back and forth.
I wonder how much of this net worth lead is actually just summons that they've killed from Envy at this point.
It'd be a lot. Like, I would say, if you had to guess.
Triple echoes.
Oh, baby, a triple. It could happen.
They're just running at him.
Yep, they do have Glyph up again.
They're smoked behind Gunner. They immediately pop his Linken's. Blizzy,
be careful. He's right next to Blizzy.
Yeah, needs to be careful. He does have the Aegis. So, all right, is that backup rapier or is that double rapier? What do we got? This is the stage that we're getting to in this game.
Yeah, and he is a little bit short on the buyback as well on the Kunkka. Only 300 gold, but still, it's something. He doesn't get a creep wave, which he might here.
Okay, top's getting pushed out. IX Mike running forward, puts down the tombstone. They immediately get a bash. They jump in with Echo number 1, does nothing. Crystallize was spinning up. Envy just trying to focus on the racks. The Glyph getting forced in the backlines. Brax immediately killing off the Oracle. They are now chopping wood onto IX Mike. He dies. Second tombstone pops up. Gunner's lost his first life. Brax also getting chopped down by the Juggernaut. Roll forward from Chu as now they look for Gunner. They have lost a lot of life on Envy, so he's just retreating back. They chase even further forward. Gunner getting doomed up at this stage. 3 dead on Team, and it's about to be 4. Nushim's looking for his opportunity. Nice Fisher. They don't quite manage to force staff him into the river, and the damage from the Doom is just too much. As Envy actually dying elsewhere, now buying back into the game, and Team, they wanted to just brute force it.
Wouldn't have too much in the form of ultimates left on Team. Only missing the Doom on NaVi.
Buyback's coming. Envy, he's TPing, but he's not TPing back. He's TPing for the rat. NaVi, can they get back here in time? Magical's in position, ready to defend. Trying to size it up. All right, they get everything except the ranged Necro.
I don't want to say they lose their patience, but they just want to full-on commit, like, look, we're either going to win right now or we're going to lose. And they just go all in with Gunner and EE into a team fight.
Somebody was going to come and push out bot solo. and they were just going to instantly kill that hero. But Navi not falling for it. Because you do sometimes see that happen. Not necessarily at this point of the game, but sometimes teams get Roshan, and they just tell them, oh, that's trouble for Gunnar. That is a doom. Blizzy, all right, Aeon Disc pops. They're still chasing after him. Status resistance kicking in. Gunnar's just juking for dear life here, and it looks like he may have actually done it. NaVi is creating space over at mid lane as well, though. We'll see how much space it actually is. Roll forward, Magical, chasing after him. This BKB, pretty low duration, and he doesn't actually have the shapeshift. NaVi, what exactly are you doing here, my friend? He's dead, and he buys back instantly.
So no shapeshift.
Yeah.
No boots of travel. No TP. No BKB. They could look to go all in here now that they've got the double damage. You obviously have the crit chance on...
Team are trying to be so sneaky, but they're sitting right on top of this observer. Oh no. Oh no, this could be... This ward could win Navi the entire game. They see everything. Brax does have a double damage. They need to be a little bit careful. He's going to do a lot of damage. Echo Slam jumps in onto Magical, but they do have the save there. Oracle waiting on the high ground. Abyssal Blade getting dropped down onto the Brewmaster. Can he survive? NaVi is inside the base. He's going for it, but the glyph is already being popped. And Brax is actually still surviving here as a Brewmaster, keeping him back.
And it's the same.
And okay, and then Mike's dead. See you, Mike.
He is dead for 90 seconds.
Yes.
So
Lizzie is looking for NaVi right now.
well, he might find him. He's getting pretty close.
All right, Stomp, Doom. Where's the backup? TP coming in from the Ember, actually. Who is coming in to help? They do have the Kunkka, Boots of Travel 2 onto Blizzy. Get the Hex out. Brax also looking to help out. He's got pretty good damage. This is dangerous. Nusham comes in with the Echo Slam. Navi, what have you done? You've been baited by Eternal Envy.
You make it sound like it's the worst thing imaginable. How could you get baited by EE stuff?
He wasn't even trying to bait. He was just farming neutral.
I mean, he needs the farm, right? Again, he hasn't picked up any new item since then. He's just been using it on buybacks, essentially. You know, little elusive things off. You know,
I really like this Brewmaster build in the late game.
Yeah.
Like, you can either go the like auras and Octarine and then the health and the cooldown, or you can go this, which is much more interesting. Everybody loves big crits.
All right, here we go.
All right, they're forcing it out. They got the Hex onto one. More follow-up stun as well. Crystallizing a little bit of trouble, forcing the spin. Eternal Envy uses the BKB.
No buyback.
He just wants the Megas, but like we said, Megas don't really matter all that much at this point. Kunkka's still holding on. They get a bash instantly onto Chu. Omni Slash is bouncing onto EE. He's in big trouble. He tries to drag it over onto his team, but he is dead for 2 minutes. Trouble for Nusham as he gets surrounded. He'll be finished off next. He does have a buyback, but Navi, now they have to march through the Mega Creeps and try and maybe end this game?
Maybe? On Team, it is Gunnar and Brax that have it left. So it's knife-edge stuff. You know, even with that fight, it was a 4v5, right? IX Mike was not part of that fight. He just respawned. He doesn't have boots of travel. Oh, mid lane. Just one back.
Jug also has a rapier.
Now, do you think he wants to build up into this AC now specifically because EE is dead and they actually need it to defend against this push? Like the armor on the buildings?
Yeah, potentially. Or just the armor for himself.
Yeah. But you've already got it on EE, right?
Well, they have both AC and Shiva.
Yeah.
Envy's never with them, to be honest.
True.
All right, TP coming in. Silence onto Gunnar. He's in a little bit of danger. Chu chasing him. They get the reflected Hex. That is trouble. Can they actually bring down this Ember? They are just focusing onto the tier 4s with Crystallize, but he's getting crated down by Brax. He's dead. He buys back. He's coming back in. Nusham, what can he actually get done? Gunnar's down. He's buying back Nusham. Echo Slam. Echo number 2, but it's just not doing enough. He's dead for 125. Navi, can they actually finish this off here? Brax still auto-attacking through everybody. They've lost Magical. Crystallize just wants to try and finish the game, but I don't know if he's actually doing enough. Crystallize now down. Brax is keeping everything together for Team as they look to chase them down.
He's going to spawn. He's going to TP into that base right away. Look at him go.
All right, keeping them away from Blizzy. TP in from Gunnar. Envy. He's finally got the opportunity. The GG is called. Team have done it. Eternal Envy rat tactics at their best.
What a game. And Brax at the very end, right? Like the round for them. They lost Gunnar early on. They didn't have the buyback on him. Like it was just so much going his way. Nusham, nice double Echo Slam as well, and a 2-0 for Team. Great way to start.
Well, I absolutely cannot wait to hear what the panel has to say about that game, because it was absolutely ridiculous. So let's head back over and see what they have to say.